Hey guys, and welcome back to another Conan Exiles video. Today we are in the Northern Highlands, just east of the island holding the Sanctuary ruins, building a farm. This build was suggested by Justin Hayner on my Yamatai House build guide, so thanks for the suggestion Justin, this is definitely something new. This build is designed to be a medium-sized farm that houses both crops and livestock, tended to by a single landowner and his hired farmhands. I've never built a farm before in Conan Exiles, but I'd say, seeing as it's my first attempt, you'll probably enjoy the end result. This build includes heavy use of DLC items and mods, the latter of which can be seen on screen now. Whilst the DLC items can easily be replaced with base game items such as wood, stone, etc., the mods are what makes up probably 90% of the decoration in this build. To all my console viewers out there, I do apologise, but this was the best way to approach this build. I've been trying to stick to as many vanilla elements as I can lately without using mods so you console guys can get your fix, but honestly there was really no other option for this build. So, without further ado, let's get started. Firstly, we're going to start off by marking the rough borders of the farm with farm fence pieces. I'm aiming to make these pieces fit the terrain they sit on, whilst also attaching them to one another by the posts that go through the side supports of each fence piece. Whilst this isn't always possible due to my bad placing of fences, I'm trying my best to keep everything looking correct. I'm using the fences to try to mark out the rough borders of where various sections of the farm will be, though you'll see these fences get built up, torn down and replaced a little bit more later as we get further into the build. Next for the structures. The farm will have 4 different buildings, those being the farmhouse, the barn and 2 storage silos. These foundation structures are extremely simple, as you can see in the blueprint on screen now. The farmhouse will of course be where the landowner sleeps and eats, the barn will hold some smaller animals away from the main pens, and the storage silos will hold harvested crops and hay bales. Next for the actual construction of these structures around the farm. I firstly built up the walls of the farmhouse using Khitan walls, frames and door frames, separating the ground floor into 2 separate rooms, a corridor to attach them both, and a front and back porch area. I built this building up 2 stories high, with each floor being 2 tiles high. I constructed the floor of the first floor using wooden ceilings, as I felt they fit the homely vibe much better than just regular old Khitan ceilings. When the walls were done, I then finished off the build with Yamatai roof pieces in a pointed apex, then placing fences and Yamatai awnings on the front and rear porches. Next for the barn, which is of a very simple construction. I'll be building the barn entirely from wood with a thatch roof, first placing a gateway at the front of the build to allow animals easier access in and out, building the walls up 4 tiles high to match the height of the gateway. I then built up some ceilings halfway up the walls, which will act as part of the hayloft. I initially intended to have a hatch frame through the hayloft door, allowing resources to be dropped from the loft itself. However, I would later change this by integrating an elevator to allow transportation of resources to and from the loft, rather than just from the loft down. I also built fences on the ground floor to house the animals, then building the roof to a flat apex, finishing it off with wall caps and rooftop pieces. Finally, the silos. These are simple tower structures with a single entranceway, raising up above the farm itself. I built the walls from stone, placing a ring of frames at the top to allow for some airflow. I finished off the silo with reinforced stone roof wedges. When I finished the silos, I then used some fences to create 2 separate animal pens between the farmhouse and the barn. Finally, when the shell of the build was done, it was then time to of course furnish. Approaching the farm, I've used some lighting across the farm to keep it somewhat lit at night, whilst also allowing the crops and the animals to experience a proper day-night cycle. On the left side of the farm is the crop area, where many different crops grow such as wheat, corn, cabbages, grapes and more. The silos hold bundles of wheat and hay, which are used for, of course, animal feed. Outside the farmhouse, a hired hand takes care of the animals that the landowner uses to transport crops to the market. Over in the livestock section, there are 2 separate pens here, one for cows and one for chickens, the latter of which is being tended to by another farmhand. Heading into the barn, the pens hold a few animals that need to be kept away from the main pens due to a variety of animal related reasons. You can access the Hayloft by climbing up the ladder in the back right of the build, which is a super easy climb that I definitely didn't fall back down from. I don't know where you got that impression from. The Hayloft contains, well, hay, and has a transport elevator through the door that allows for the moving of resources and feed to and from the Hayloft. Finally, heading into the farmhouse, this is a wonderful little home for the landowner. On the far right of the build is a small bathroom, where the landowner can scrub up on his hygiene. Farm work is not clean work. Exiting the bathroom and heading down the hall, we enter the kitchen on the right. This is a small but functional room for the preparation and consumption of food, perfect for a house like this. Leaving the kitchen, we end up at the door to the rear porch, which provides a nice view over the nearby lake and sanctuary ruins. Heading upstairs, we reach the luxurious bedroom. This is probably the cosiest room in the house, designed as a comfortable place to rest after a long day's work on the farm. And there we have it, a farm in the highlands of the Exiled Lands, just east of the Sanctuary Ruins. Thanks for watching, and again thanks to Justin for the suggestion. This was something way different from what I usually build, and I really did enjoy it. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like, and let me know in the comments below if you have any build suggestions for future videos. As usual, anything is welcome. Don't forget to join the fun on our Discord through the link in the description, and if you'd like to support the future of this channel, the link to my Patreon is also in the description below, with various tiers and rewards including special Discord roles, sneak peeks at new videos, your name at the end of videos, and more. On that note, a thanks to our patrons Sammy, Doomshade and Dawnfox. If you're new here, feel free to check out the rest of the content on the channel. There are new Conan Exiles videos coming every Wednesday and Sunday, so if you like what you see, subscribe and turn on post notifications to be the first to see the next video, and to join us on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.